Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to Voice from Ukraine. I have my co host here, Oleksandr. We're also waiting. Malcolm Nance is going to be joining us any moment. I think he's just running a little bit late from, he was doing another appearance and he's going to be joining us. It's been a busy, crazy week already, and it's only been 3 days. But what we watched play out the past couple of days at the UN and the theatrics that Donald Trump puts on, it was something to watch. I mean, first of all, the fact that he got up there and started insulting countries and telling them that their countries were going to hell. This is what the president of the United States, the words he used, basically saying that their countries are going to hell. He knows better than most, showing his narcissism in full display, talking about how he's the best. He stopped 7 wars. The one thing, that he did finally, I think they wrote it down so in such big letters and clearly for him to stop making the mistake. He finally at least said Armenia is fighting Azerbaijan, not Albania, or Azerbaijan fighting Albania, because for some reason he wanted Armenia and Albania to fight, Azerbaijan and Albania to fight. He kept touting as that as one of the wars. For a person that stopped all these wars, he doesn't even know the wars he stopped. Every time the number changes. But the fact that he was standing on top in front of the whole world, in front of all of these nations, and being shown pure dictatorship, narcissism, telling everybody that they're worthless, that their countries are going to hell, that we are the best, that he is the best, that everything he says is right, everything he does is right, that they have to listen to him, and so on and so on and so on. I mean, there was a display of such narcissism that it came to a point where you want to throw up because you can't even believe that you're dealing with such garbage. But then he went a step further. He gave you a little look at the side, and I just want to touch on before, because what we're going to talk about is Ukraine. But while we're waiting for Malcolm, I want to break down a little of the disgusting UN speech, but also an inside look into Donald Trump a little bit for you guys, because if you saw it yesterday, he went into a story about how all of a sudden, the UN was not that had doesn't have marble floors, that the UN is not built properly, and then he went ahead to tell you that he was bidding for the job to build the UN. And he went and told you that he had the best idea, that he was going to give him the best price. He was going to build the best of with marble floors and mahogany wood, and he was going to do it. And what happened was the UN decided they were not going to take Donald Trump. I didn't even know about this, but this is how narcissistic he is, and this is. I want you to take a look and to give you. It's like if we were playing poker, this would be a tell, about what his cards are like, and he's telling you ahead of time that he is pissed at the UN. Just like I told you, he's pissed at the Europe altogether because of Davos, because they've never accepted him as a real billionaire, never invited him to Davos. He has a constant anger towards certain European countries and European leaders. Same thing here. Now, he just told you one of the reasons why he has such anger for the UN is because they basically did not give him the job to build the UN back in the day when like he said, he was in construction. Just think about that for a second. How narcissistical that is. And then he also pushed for the right agenda, supporting the Argentinian runner for president, talking about how great he is, talking about how he met the Brazilian president and passing through, and that they're going to talk, smirking because, for those of you that don't know, is Baldassari, the Brazilian ex-president, the right wing, Trump's friend, was convicted and is supposed to be, I think, going to prison for over 25 years. Trump has got involved and has threatened Brazil with all kinds of tariffs, and has put tariffs on, and he's using that for them to release Baldassari. Just like Trump got involved in Israel's prosecution of Bibi Netanyahu, that was a lot more successful. As you could see, there is no more prosecution, and Bibi Netanyahu is doing whatever he wants. He also made an interesting statement yesterday. He went out there and he again try to put it, and these are, not Donald Trump doing this. This was really Putin structuring all of this. I told you this before. He told him, gave him the game plan and gave him the vision of how to do it to make himself look like he's trying to do everything. And he came out there and said again to all the EU nations, saying, "I want to go sanction Russia. I want to go stop them, but I'm not going to do it until you stop buying oil from Russia, until each and every one of you." This is specific because he said each and every one of you. Now, the reason why that's very important is because there's certain countries, very few, but like maybe two or three, like one in specific, like Slovakia, they don't have another choice right now because of the price and everything else. So they are trying to wean off Russian gas, but they are definitely, they can't let their countries, as what's it called, especially winter's coming up, freeze. And that's part of the hold Russia has had on Eastern Europe and some of those Baltic countries. And this is one of the things that we that they've been dealing with all the time. But then there was another country there that was specifically, it would not stop buying Russian oil because it's part of Russians' axis of evil, and that's Hungary, and that's Viktor Orban. So when the media asked yesterday Donald Trump, what do you think about how is Hungary? Do you want them all to stop buying oil? But Hungary is not going to stop. Trump says, Viktor Orban's a good friend of mine. If I give him a call and if I ask him, he'll probably stop buying Russian oil. Well, let me give you some breaking news, folks. Hungary came out today and said they're not going to stop buying Russian oil, and they don't know what Trump is talking about. So, it would be nice to see for the media to follow up on some of those questions and push them a little bit more to be able to try to get a response to, okay, so did you call Viktor Orban? What did Viktor Orban do? Press the situation. He gave you an out. The media doesn't do it, unfortunately. And that is why Trump is able to run through it and do what he wants. But now let's get into Ukraine because that's one of the most important stories that's going on right now. One that's actually happening as we speak. Vladimir Zelensky is at the UN right now, just finished up making a speech to the UN. And you saw something play out yesterday, and it's for those of you that have been watching us, for those of you that have been listening to what me, Alex, have been talking about and Voice for Ukraine, you know that what you saw yesterday was, again, another part of theatrics. It was, if we were watching this as a reality show or we were watching this as some kind of series, it would be like part two, season two. Season one was going into the Alaska trip where, there was going to have tremendous peace talks. Instead of peace talks, they had the red carpet laid out and had a few hours back and forth. And instead of talking about how peace was going to happen, they came back to discuss about how they were going to promise a meeting between Zelensky and Putin. We told you that's not going to happen. We told you that was a lie, but they pushed it. They pushed it to the fact that they even had, all of the leaders in the Oval. Remember that? They were all sitting there, Trump speaking to each one of them very excited. Zelensky was very excited. All of them saying the same things that you hear being said today, about a month later. So here we are a month later from where we were back then, and now we're seeing the same thing transpire again. But just what the change is, it's not Alaska, it's New York. It's not Putin and Trump talking, it's the UN nation. But what's happening is Trump is coming out and Trump is giving you a theatrical play. But what he's doing in this is going a step further. And the step further that he's going is that he is now planning on what's it called, walking away completely from Ukraine. And that's what we've been telling you. That's going to happen. Now we've come to a head. So yesterday, when you saw transpire at the UN, even though the media is spinning it that Trump did a 180 and that now Trump is going to be tough on Russia and that all of this blah, 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 same regurgitation of what happened literally a month ago. You don't hear me? Do you guys hear me out there? Or is this just Alex? Alex, I'm going to take you off and okay, there we go. Let me send them back on. Maybe so. And let's see where Malcolm is. Okay, let's try to get back. Malcolm and Alex. All right. While we're waiting for Malcolm and Alexander, I think they're, the spy. I don't know where Malcolm is. And let me see. Alexander said send another one. Let's send another one. I think he's having bad connection. Trying to. I don't know if this is me or if this is technology or it's Substack. Substack has been uh, having all kinds of different. Oh, there we go.
Now
All
I
right.
hear you.
All right.
The
But
sound disappeared.
Substack has always been having problems, and lately it's been really crazy. So I know, but basically, I'm going to come to a conclusion of my rant of what happened yesterday. Is that at the end, Donald Trump came out and started making some serious comments, and those comments are basically now being regurgitated. Now, if you put on every channel, this is what CNN and everybody's talking about. The 180, the pundits are all out. Substack is full of them today, and all of the X and everybody, and now everybody's this genius coming out there talking about how they've called it, and here we are. And I'm saying to you, Trump is now going to turn on Russia. I'm going to give you a breaking news. False. Trump's not turning on Russia because those of you that follow us and those of you that know, what do we always tell you? Follow the action. Watch what they do. Don't watch what he says. He says a lot, but watch what he do. So let's break it down for a second. Trump yesterday said that Ukraine could go ahead and take over all of the land that they want back. All positive stuff. Then Trump was also asked, should NATO shoot down Russian planes if they cross the border? Trump said, absolutely, all positive stuff. But then here comes where it starts changing. When they asked Trump, what will you do? Will America support NATO if they shoot down a Russian plane? And this is where it starts getting murky. Trump turns around and says, depends. Depends on what? That's what NATO's all about, folks. An attack on one is an attack on all. It doesn't depend. And then that doesn't mean that it's NATO. I mean, it depends on what. So it's like, so Trump is basically telling NATO, you're on your own. But then he went ahead further and he put a tweet out. Oh, so Truth Social, whatever you want to call it. And Alex, I'm going to read this and then I want to hear your take on what you saw about this, because in this Truth Social post, a lot of people are talking about how he is, standing up 180 again. But I want to break it down to everybody to show you that what really this post is, a Truth Social post, is Trump officially walking away and leaving it up to Ukraine, the EU, and for them to deal with Russia on its own. So it's basically what we've been telling you and warning you is going to happen. It's coming, what's it called? Right now, it's happening. We're coming to a head. So here is the Truth Social post Trump posted yesterday. After getting to know and fully understand the Ukraine-Russia military and economic situation, and after seeing the economic trouble it is causing Russia, just let's stop for a second right there. This is the President of the United States telling you that now, all of a sudden, he's starting to understand that Ukraine-Russia military and economic situation. So basically, everything he's been telling you for all those months and every day, that means he had no idea what we've been telling you, that Russia is in deep shit, that Russia's economy is going to garbage, that the oil is the key. But all of a sudden, Trump realized that yesterday. I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. Now, let me break that sentence down to you. That's a total opposite of a lie, what he really believes. because Donald Trump still really believes that Russia is more superior, that Russia is going to win, and that Russia is a more powerful country. But he's saying, and this is why he's saying it, he's not saying with our support. He's not saying with the world support. He's saying it specifically. He's saying that Ukraine has a chance with the European Union and the financial support of Europe. So he's basically saying, and particularly NATO, the original borders from where the war started is very much an option. Why not? He's throwing in there that basically now supposedly that Ukraine could now go take over Russian territory. Now this is all bullshit, folks. This is all again to distract you because if Donald Trump wanted to stop this war, if Donald Trump was so serious about helping Ukraine, I'm going to tell you what would be going on. But he continues to say Russia has been fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years, a war that should have taken a real military power less than a week to win. So if you remember before, he would say, he would end that sentence off by saying, with a war that would have never happened. Now he's changing the rhetoric a little bit, saying now it's not about the war that would have never happened. He's telling you that Russia is a shitty army now, from telling you for all these years, telling you how powerful they are, how they're the strongest, how they're this, how they could wipe out, remember, just a few weeks ago, he was telling you the only reason they haven't taken all of Ukraine yet was because of him. You remember, because if it wasn't for him, if Biden was still president, they would have taken all of Ukraine. He continues. In fact, it is very much making them look like a paper tiger. When the people living in Moscow and all of the great cities, towns, and districts all throughout Russia find out what is really going on with this war, the fact that it's almost impossible for them to get gasoline through the long lines that are being formed, and all of the other things that are taking place in the war economy, where most of their money is being spent on fighting Ukraine, which has great spirit and only getting better. Ukraine would be, I mean, he just keeps going. Ukraine would be able to take back their country in its original form. And who knows, maybe even go further than that. Putin and Russia are in big economic trouble. And this is the time for Ukraine to act. So, right here, you're reading and you're thinking, wow, Trump's all in on Ukraine, right? Trump's going to help Ukraine. So you expect the guy to end off the sentence saying, and this is what we're going to do. I'm going to open up and send Ukraine X amount of military, what's it called? We're going to send them this technology. We're going to give them this aid package. We're going to do this and this and this. In the meantime, we're going to sanction Russia. We're going to go after anybody that buys oil and puts secondary. He could do all these things. But you know what, Donald Trump, how he ends this? Here we go, folks. In any event, I wish both countries well. We will continue to supply weapons to NATO. For NATO to do what they want with them. Okay. Good luck to all. Good luck to all. You said so. Wait a second. So good luck. You have a terrorist that wants to. It's the same thing. What would Donald Trump say if Ukraine or somebody came out and said, "Well, we were fighting Osama bin Laden"? If they said, "Good luck to all." Good luck to all. Good luck to Osama. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry, man. Like, well, how do you? So, but those were the key words. I mean, the reason why he said it, because those were the key words, was basically he said goodbye. He, ended it off with, confusion and stuff. So I'm going to end off with this, and I'm going to hand it over to you, Alex. With all of this going on, I always say, like I said again, look at the actions. The words were good. The words were great, but his actions are A, there's no weapons going to Ukraine. Just over the past, since he's taken office, he has stopped weapons flow to Ukraine several times, even going to the point, if you remember, Pete Hegseth pulled, try to blame him, pulled actual Patriot missiles that were already in Poland, being on a truck being delivered to Ukraine, and they pulled them back under an American first policy. Just a couple of days ago, if you read my Substack letter I wrote to you, breaking it down to you how right now they're even stopping certain part of the America First policy to stop sending missiles and Patriots to NATO. So this is the interesting part. This is what is very important for I want everybody to understand why we're trying to build this movement here is because what most of the world is seeing today and hearing about is these news clips of Donald Trump doing a 180. Donald Trump telling Ukraine to they could get all their country back. Donald Trump. So right now, if you look up and you open up any newspaper, if you go in on any, so you see these headlines all over the place talking about, but nobody's talking about that what Donald Trump is actually doing, not what he's saying, but what he's actually doing. Nobody's talking about that Ukraine's not getting any weapons, any help. I mean, or barely, Nobody's talking about that while yesterday, while Donald Trump was saying all of these words, simultaneously, Russia opened up. This was like, like a planned event. While Donald Trump was talking at the UN, Russia opened up a massive attack in Kharkiv, wiping out their whole grid infrastructure and powers and electricity grid that they had no lights. Just think about the actions and then the words, and that's what I'm saying to you. So, Alex, I mean, I know that's a lot to break down, and I know you're going through a lot yourself, and there's a lot happening. But give me your take, and what are you about this whole what's happening there?
Hi, Lev. Hello, everybody. Uh, nice to be back on. Uh, as always, I start with thank you. I start with that I am Ukraine grateful for the platform for the world that supports us. Now get back to everything you said. It's classic. It's classic, and this time it's not just action. I mean, this is blunt. This is he came out because everybody's he's grilling him on why don't you help this? Why you with Russia? Because everything's official. So he came out. He said, you know what? I'm sick of you. You always messing up. You treat me like shit. You know what? Why don't you do it yourself? I'm around. I'm gonna be watching you, and I might even help you. But you know what? I've been trying to stop you, Russia and Ukraine, to fighting. You want to fight? Fight. Ukraine, Russia's messed up. It's wounded. So this is your chance. Get busy. And if Europe, you want to moderate this here. I'll sell you the weapons. You do what you want. Hey, Russia, I'm not giving them the weapons. I'm giving them to Europe. Europe does what he wants. So he covers all the ends. And right now is a free jelly. Because this is 180. This is saying, you know what? I'm done with this. You guys deal with it. You think you can win? Win. You think you can take your territory back? Take it back. You want more? Take more. God willing, this is your chance. But now, if I want to talk to Russia, I'll talk to Russia. If I want to talk to Ukraine, I'll talk to Ukraine. He took all the obligations off his shoulders. And the crazy thing, the world believed it almost. Almost everybody believes it. I almost had arguments with people that told me, are you kidding me? He says, no, he has no choice. He has to stand with Ukraine. I said, this guy always has a choice because he set up, we always said, excuse my French, never piss against the wind. I mean, this is the oldest. But he got the wind set up in such a way that he can throw anything out there and he keeps on flying. Nothing comes back to him because there is nobody to pull his coat. He can do what he wants. He can say what he wants, and nobody questions it. That's how this machine is running. And I tell you one thing: it's scary. What's also scary that last night they launched the massive attack on Kharkiv. I mean, I was talking to people that there were 3 or 4 shaheads coming down on one spot. This is like massive. And they're very close. There's not that much of a warning. and mainly they were hitting the infrastructure, the power station, the electric supply, because this is all strategic, and then not just that. The uh, Zaporizhia, the also in Dnipropetrovsk, they hit. I mean, there's not much in the news, but it's like every night, and when something's going on, they don't push Kiev that hard. Plus, we know that the Kiev for them is too expensive, and Kiev is very protected because the government's here, everything's here. But they're not stopping, and they're pushing the infrastructure to hit the infrastructure. Today there must be at least three sirens. And the siren was there was reconnaissance Shahed from them. Reconnaissance drone. So if daytime there is a reconnaissance drone, that means at night that they do reconnaissance for a reason. So nothing stops. And since yesterday, yeah, they hit Kharkiv hard, but we responded. Ukraine responded. I mean, all over the place. Right before they won, the Moscow was under the attack finally, and Ukraine said today, every weapon you send, every drone that flies, every building you hit, you'll respond for everything. You will pay for every damage you make. But we're not barbarians. Because at the moment we start doing what they're doing, that doesn't make us any different, but we are different. We have intelligence. We have intelligence, and we want democracy, we want peace, and we don't want to terrorize people. We just want this war to stop. So that's why, no matter how upset we are, no matter how we want to tear them apart for causing damage to our children, our families, our land, we only hit the infrastructure, the oil, the gas, the ships, and only the army, the Iskanders, the machinery, because that's what separates us from them. That's what separates us from all the dictators that don't care about people. Everything to them is numbers. So I'm kind of not even less upset. I'm hoping that the world will see right now what he's all about. Because anybody with a half a brain and they can read between the lines, I mean, it says 180. Because before he says, no, I'm not giving weapons because I want this war to stop. No, I'm not doing this because of this. Now he's saying, you want to fight, fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly. And by the way, just a quick update on the children part. That I have some of my sources told me that, and I'm working on a story, and I don't know if you heard anything about it, also, Alex, that Erdogan, President Erdogan from Turkey, has brokered some sort of a deal, and that Ukraine was able to get back several thousand kids and that there's I know it's a small portion, but at least it's a start, and the re and I don't know what the right word is about not reprogramming, but getting them re-established and back into society. Is crazy what I'm hearing. The psychological torture the kids have been going through. But the good part that that there already are some kids going back, and I'm working on it behind the scenes to get. Once I get the full story, I'm going to break it and I'll post it to you guys to make sure definitely to subscribe. Go ahead, Alex. I'm sorry about that, bro.
This number that they got back, this is not even third. This is 30th.
Yeah, yeah,
30th.
yeah, yeah. I know it's
And look how much joy, look how much happiness because of it. Uh, God bless those kids. God help those kids. It's they don't have an easy road ahead of them, but at least they're on their homeland and they're back with their relatives. And God willing, with time that they will recover and rebuild their lives. But at least they have a chance. At least they have a chance. And I pray that the world uses this as a success story and broker more deals like that. But the biggest control over all that was in America. they had control of every child. They knew where every child was. They knew everything. So maybe those files will reappear again, and maybe more is going to happen. But nevertheless, today was the first day that was already cold. It was very cold, and I believe anytime soon that he's going to go back on. And I see warnings that people get ready, get flashlights, get this, because this is the time when they get busy. And yesterday with their own meeting and everything else, and as you see yesterday, they didn't say a word. They were just sitting with the camera, taping everything to bring it back to bring it back to Moscow. They didn't say nothing. They didn't. They usually come out and then say this bad, that bad. They didn't say nothing.
No,
They,
this is all theatrics, and that's why you saw Pascal, Putin's mouthpiece, come out and say, "We're not a paper tiger. There's no paper tiger here. We're a bear, and there's no paper bears." This is all rhetoric going back and forth, because at the end of the day, and this is why Putin, if you what you don't hear about, but if you read my articles that me and Alex put out here, is already talking about nuclear threats, talking about the golden dome that Trump is trying to build. That if he continues, see, this is not being reported over here in the United States about the rhetoric that's going back and forth, and the reason why that rhetoric is being excessive and going to such levels is because this is part of the plan to give Trump a way out. Because Trump is not going to go. He's not. He is at the end of the day. He's going to say, "I'm not going to go to World War III over Ukraine. That's not my war. That's Biden's war. That's a Democrats' war. Let them deal with it.
he
Let
didn't,
Europe deal with it. It's not. It's not."
he didn't say it. This time he didn't say it at all.
No, he's not. What I'm saying to you is, when it comes push come to shove, because right now they're trying to push again. Look, let's talk about what he says and what's be in actions. Yesterday again, he says he's going to sanction Russia again. What happens today? Today, Lavrov, the is being greeted on the tarmac. Again, red carpet. Rubio is meeting him. They have talks lined up. This is the first time in the history where we're greeting terrorists, war criminals, and laying out the red carpets for them, instead of being harsh with them, instead of putting their feet to the fire, instead of making them jump through hoops to be able to get normality. We're basically putting him on the world stage. And the other thing is, you need to understand, folks, where the sudden shift all of a sudden happened. Donald Trump, this is why this is all bullshit. Donald Trump, we've been telling you about Russia's economy for
Huh.
before we even got onto Substack. From the first day we got into Substack, the first thing we've been telling you is Russia's economy is at shit. Uh, Donald Trump knew that. American sources know that. American intelligence understands that. If Donald Trump at any point, and that's what I'm saying to you, the moment you see that maybe something, God helped, hits Donald Trump and we do see some sort of action, you will see actual action. You will actually see Donald Trump sit in the Oval Office, breaking news, signing, tariffs, hitting Russia all over the place, putting sanctions on them, signing, breaking new deal where, because he has it all set up where he could now go sell. He doesn't have to give aid to Ukraine. He could go sell billions of dollars. Europe's willing to buy it. Billions of dollars of, he could just go do that today. And if he does that today, the war shifts completely. Because just think about the fact that what is Ukraine able to do with, literally the past 9 months, they've been cut off completely. They have the past 9 months since Trump has come into office, he has stopped primarily most of the aid. They're getting dribs and drabs of things. And in the dribs and drabs, look at what Ukraine has been able to establish over the past 9 months. They've been hitting farther and harder inside of Russia than ever before. They've built their drone technology to such a point where even today, Zelensky said something very smart. Zelensky said, right now is the cheapest way to stop the war. Because what's happening is the way technology is growing and the war is happening, it's becoming a drone technology. And as the technology grows, Think about how easy now all it would take is to put a nuclear warhead on a drone. Now you don't need all these ballistic missiles, all these supersonic to try to go through the space. Now you could take a drone that costs you nothing, put a nuclear tip, and look at how effective these drones are. Look at what Ukraine is able to do by attacking and almost like literally slowly but surely destroying Russia's uh, gas internal, as McCain used to call them, they were a gas station. Russia's a gas station, basically turning their gas off. So this is right now a real major turning point in what's happening. So yeah, Trump doesn't. We don't need to go World War III. Trump doesn't need to go in there and talk. And this is what the difference is. Trump doesn't need to be speaking rhetoric and arguing with Putin. Trump needs to cut him off. Trump needs to isolate him. Because every time Trump brings him over here and talks to him and gives him this, what's happening is it's giving him a power on the world stage in another set of the world where he's looked up to by these other dictators. Just think about what just happened in China. We were just remember just literally a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, how Donald Trump was sitting there watching how Vladimir Putin was meeting with Kim Jong Un, Xi, all of these dictators from around the world, and who was there also? Don't forget Modi, the Indian Prime Minister. Now Trump comes out and tells you that they have a great relationship. Trump tells you he has a great relationship with Xi. Trump tells you he has a great relationship with Putin. But if you take a look at their actions, what really our relationships are with India, they're not great. India is basically continuing to buy Russian oil, continuing to fight us on the tariffs, and decide to go meet up with China. Trump keeps telling you that China, we have a great relationship with China. I don't see a great relationship with China. We have major tariff wars that we haven't start feeling the effects in our economical. And basically, China is not hiding anymore. They're out there supporting Russia. They're out there telling Europe to, that America is the big bad evil and that, is trying to stop trade and using now propaganda. And this is only the beginning. And this is what I want everyone to understand, and this is why how serious it is. If we were to stop this war today and stop Donald Trump today and change and get our democracy back, and if we were to able to today, it would still take us years, years to try to. And I don't know, I'm not a specialist to tell you if it would take decade, or years, or how long to be able, but it would take a long time to fix all that he has broken, all the relationships, all the financial institution, all the different organizations and agencies through USAID. Just think about all these agents, like what Alex was just telling you, just one of them in particular that was set up in the United States that was tracking all of these kids, which had all the information, was tracking where they go, what's happening. They're gone. This information is gone. We don't know if it's gone, but the agency's gone. They're shut down. They're no longer out there. He shut down every agency that was set up to oversee Russians, selling of their shadow fleets of oil that we wrote about. He shut down all the monitoring agencies that impose the sanctions and tariffs and overlook to make sure that we do, impose who is going against who's doing bad. And that's not even to start with what's going here on in the United States. So there's a lot of bad that Donald Trump that we're ready. So the quicker we stop him, the quicker we stop this madness, the quicker we move on, the quicker we'll be able to start rebuilding the world, not just Ukraine. I mean, Ukraine has to get rebuilt from the inside out. People are disheveled. I mean, houses, apartments, lives. But the world has to get brought back together because there's such a crazy movement going on all over the world, and Trump is pushing it by just showing the way now. There's no respect. The words that he uses, calling people scum. I mean, this is the president of the United States, folks. This is not some senator or congressman. It's not some politician or governor. This is the leader of the free world out there. And when was the last time you heard him say anything that would have united everybody. When was the last time you heard Donald Trump and saying, I am the president for all? I'm there for all of you. You are all American citizens around there. No, he never talks that way. He lives in a world where the strong survive and the weak perish. And that's how he looks at things. And that's why the situation in Ukraine is the way it is, because he doesn't look at Ukraine as a strong and powerful nation. He doesn't look at Ukraine as, that somebody that is going to do his dirty work. He understands that Ukraine is trying to be out there and be free, democratic. And just think about what's happening here in the United States. I mean, folks, like literally today, we'll talk about it later, but right now we have snipers shooting ICE facilities. And too bad Malcolm didn't join us today. Maybe later on today we'll have another special with Malcolm. He's probably doing some spy work over. But Malcolm has been talking about this already for several times. If you've been watching our Unleash programs, Malcolm has been saying that it's going to come to this where people are going to start picking up their guns and start shooting. And that's what's happening. Anyway, go ahead. What's up, sir?
But it's not only that. It's actually it's worse than that. It is the world, and the thing is, uh, unfortunately, Donald Trump has a great relationship only with himself and nobody else, because he doesn't have a relationship with anybody. And the way it looks, and this again, my opinion, and I formed it by listening to a lot of other respectable opinions, and the world got the taste of what he's doing, and everybody's using it. Every single president out there, every single country is using his monkey with a grenade running around, and they use it for their benefit. China benefits what he can do. India benefits. Everybody benefits from what he does. It's like it's like you walk into the casino and somebody shut off the cameras. So right now the whole world is like as there are no cameras, as nobody's watching. Down the rules, down the rules. Who's going to impose the rule? Tomorrow, if you're a country, if you have an army, if you have an economy, and you have a neighbor or whatever, you want to do something, you go and do it. Who's going to do something to you? Unless your neighbor turns around and hits you back, then you got a war. But otherwise, there is no control. There are no cameras. I'm talking about world. There is no world supervision anymore. It's gone. And Lev, when you just said in the past 7 months, it's scary. 9 months. Wow. And it doesn't feel. It feels like he only got into the office. It's already been 9 months. So much is done. And you say that this is just like Dinkins was the mayor in New York. That it took him decades to fix everything after he was gone. All the damage he made. I believe that some of the damage to the world he does, he'll never be fixed. It's that is broken so much that once uh, countries get the taste of living in the world, and when nobody tells them what to do, when they have to keep up with the stipulations, do you think it's going to be easy to bring it back in line? I don't think. So the world is a little bit in trouble, and it's. I'm hoping that somebody with a strong common sense comes out and takes control over it all. But not likely, because everybody's filling up their pockets. In every country right now, every government is benefiting from this, and everybody knows that. So I believe the only hope is what you do, what Malcolm does, what Aaron does, what my Staj does, what Michael does, what everybody does is let people to say, "Whoa, what happened? Did I snooze?" Because the world snoozed, not just America. The world snoozed. Everybody thought it was some kind of a 30-minute show. But guess what? It's been running for for a couple of years already in time wise, and this is not a temporary thing. This is permanent. And unless people wake up and realize that this is permanent, that today you still have a choice, tomorrow you might not. Tomorrow you might wake up and your freedom of speech is gone. Then what you do? You cannot go to the police because it's run by the same system that took your speech away. Where else do you go? To the mob? What else do they cannot help you? Nobody can help you anymore. So today people still have a chance to help themselves. And Ukraine knows that. And look what we do. No matter what they do, we get up. We get up and we fight and we fight and we fight. So I think the whole world's got to do that. I mean, we are the example, I hope. So
I
that's the
I
hat.
agree. I agree with you, Alex. And on that note, I think what Alex says 100% right. This is a time for us to stand up and fight even harder and stronger because not only, look, Ukraine knows that they've been coming to this moment. We've been talking about this moment. We've been talking about it here. We've been saying that the day is going to come where Trump's going to walk away and Putin's going to make this push. And Ukraine, this is where it's going to be. Ukraine's going to make that stand. And if Ukraine survives and wins, democracy, freedom, humanity will win. And that's why right now we need to stand with Ukraine. That's why right now we need to build our platform bigger and stronger. And that's right now where I'm asking each and every one of you to go out there and go bring 3, 4 more people to this platform. I'm asking each and every one of you to become a subscriber. It's free to become a subscriber because our mission here is to bring you the information, to spread the information far and wide. And for those of you that can become paid subscribers, that can contribute, you are our backbone. You allow us to be able to do a survive in this episode because we don't have billionaires. We don't have the media sponsors. The opposite. We have Donald Trump that's trying to shut us up. We have the DOJ. I sit here worried every day they'll knock on my door and tell me to stop doing it and stop speaking because our free speech is under attack every single day. So what I want to just say to each and every one of you, continue doing what you do. For those of you that subscribe, support, and spread the message, keep doing it and keep doing it harder now more than ever. But for those of you that are still on the sideline, or for those of you that are just joining, now is not the time to sit and think. Now is the time to act. Act. The only way we're going to be able to say, because if you wait too long, I promise you, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to say, be really sorry, and then it's going to be too late. Just like Alex said, there's not going to be where to go to and who to complain to because the same people that are going to take away your rights are the ones that are going to be running your country. And I lived it, and Alex lives it now. We were born in the Soviet Union. Exactly, that's how it was run. That was their system. And what Trump is trying to implement here in the United States with Project 2025 is just a similar. It's just called different, but it's an authoritarian playbook to keep control, to be able to keep you underground, and to be able to do whatever they want and stay in power forever. So I'm asking you, and I'm pleading with you: go out there and do your thing. Thank you so much, and God bless each and every one of you. God bless America. And Alex, stay safe. Slava Ukraini.
Here I'm Slava. Thank you,
And,
Lev.
and a quick note before you go, Alex. I know you were mentioning. I know, and everybody's asking you. I know you got your own problems, but I know you're working. Also, you want to go to Kharkiv
Oh yeah, yeah.
next.
Let me say a few words on that. Uh, Kharkiv is they've been asking for dry shower packs to all last week, and unfortunately our supplies are gone low already. So we need to re up. I try to stretch it as much as possible, but last trip we delivered a lot. But nevertheless, right now, as I said, the temperature jumped from 28 degrees Celsius to 11 today. So cold winds, people need help, and we are trying to maybe set up a trip for the next week, 10 to 10 days, if it's possible to go to Hard, because there's a lot of help, especially right now. I'm out of words because I can't even. I was just there. I stopped by there on the way from Krivoy Rock. I stopped by there, and I was just there, and I can't even imagine the city when have the city without power. I mean, I was there. I delivered to people. children, they live in the subway. They live there because it's warmer there than it is in the apartment. So maybe one day I'll post some videos on that. But I know how much Kharkiv needs it right now. It's very important. So if he can do something, if he can somehow set it up that they get lists, get more supplies to start sending. But I would like to bring them some heat packs to keep the kids warm. They put it in their gloves and they stay warm, stuff like that. So it's very important, and we're going to put it. I hope we can put something together.
Yeah,
It would
no, let's talk offline and let's put together. Let's work on putting together some sort of a GoFundMe or something for you to be able to maybe for you whatever you could do, because I understand winter's coming and now we have to transform and get ready for the winter and to be able to get them safe. I'm with you, brother. All right, so definitely let's talk about, but make sure to stay safe yourself and watch out for your family also. Okay, I know you're going through a lot.
Thank you, thank you. God willing, everything's going to work out. Glory to Ukraine, glory to our heroes, Slava Ukraine. God bless everybody. Thank you.
Get on, Slava. Take care, everyone.